Hi, welcome to my channel. Hey moms, hey dads, hey parents. Hi, good morning. Well, it's good morning for me. I want to talk about bedtime routine in the kids because baby versus toddler is such a mess. Why is the toddler bedtime so traumatic? It's always like a big deal, right? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about ways to help. Let's relate to each other, and because I know a lot of us are going through the same thing. So my older daughter is 4, and she fights sleep all the time. One great thing is she's always slept through the night, for the most part, which is great. I've never had that time where she's like woken up at 2 a.m. and just like wanted to play. Once she's asleep. But getting her there is a whole nother situation. Maybe 6 months ago or so, she started this thing of more minutes. Mommy, more minutes. I'll say, okay, Ocean, it's time to go to bed, 6 more minutes. Mommy, 6 more minutes. She wants to watch her iPad, which I know I'm not supposed to let her watch her iPad late at night. I used to have her do independent play. Okay, I'll talk about that. Anyway, 6 minutes, Mommy, 7 minutes, Mommy, 2 minutes. I'm like, do you even know how short 2 minutes is? Unless you're at work, then 2 minutes may go pretty, may last a while. But yeah, so we tend, like, her average, it used to be about 8 o'clock, and it slowly crept up to 10:30, and now I'm pushing it back. Now, okay, when she was younger, when she was a baby, and I decided to sleep train her after she was 1. I don't sleep train before 1 because I want my kids to have as a secure an attachment style as possible, and they tend to have make their attachment style between 0 and 1. So that's when that's why I say you can never you can never spoil a newborn, because they need to know that they can trust. They need to know that someone's going to be there for them. They need to know that their needs will be met. So they're building that in their first year, and so it's important for me to not let them cry. For all the people who believe in cry it out, I mean, I get it. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And this is coming from me. I live alone with the girls. I have the baby every night, and I have Ocean every other night. But I do have a good amount of support from my parents and from the dads and from friends. So, for the most part, I'm okay. I'm still crazy. I still feel crazy, but I'm okay. So for Ocean, when she was younger, her dad and I lived together, but I was the primary parent who put her to sleep. So after the year, we decided to sleep train her. We had her cry it out. It literally lasted 2 nights, and then she was knocked out. I'm not against crying it out because it really, really does work, and it doesn't take long. It's just those first couple of nights, you're just like, oh my God, what am I doing? But yeah, I think maybe the first night, it maybe took 30 minutes, and then the next night, it maybe took 15, 20 minutes, and then after that, she was good. And we did check-ins, so check-in in 5 minutes, check-in in 10 minutes, check-in in 15 minutes, and then she was asleep. We just check in, say, hey, I love you, time to go to bed. We wouldn't pick her up, and then eventually she would fall asleep. That's actually a really good method. I've always wanted to try the method where you sit in a chair and you move it closer to the door, but I feel like that would just take forever. They just look at you and just want to play the whole time. They're looking at you through the bars of the crib like, So are you going to play with me, or what are you going to do? And then you have to hear them talk to you. Because when they get, around 1 to 1.5, they start saying mama, they start saying daddy, and you're just like, oh my God. Right now the baby's 7 months, so she doesn't say anything yet, which is easier by far, for sure. So when I started out with Ocean, she was on a good routine. She would go to sleep around 7:30 most nights. Well, mostly every night. She was sleep trained. It was great. But we moved. So we moved, and we kind of had to sleep train her again because she was in a new room. But it wasn't that serious. Like, really, I would just hold her and put her to sleep. She never really went to sleep, put herself to sleep. I, for the most part, after that initial cry out time and we moved, and then she didn't fall asleep like that anymore by herself, I held her and rocked her to sleep, which worked fine. I mean, it was kind of annoying because it did take a while, but once she was asleep until it was good. Until one night, she got sick. And then when she got sick, I brought her, my hair is wet, I brought her into the bed with us, and she never left. That was it. She never left after that time. But also, me and her dad were kind of breaking up in a way at that time. So I let her stay in the bed to support her, and I didn't want her to feel alone or isolated or anything like that. So I eventually moved out. And when I moved out, I lived alone. And then he lived alone. So when she was with either of us, she slept in the bed with us because we both lived alone anyway. We both still live alone. So I don't really mind her in my bed, though. I do believe that children need to be close to their parents, like at night and things like that. I mean, a child is in our stomach, their whole like existence of being created, like they're literally next to our heart. Like they can hear our heartbeat, they can hear our stomach rumbling and our intestines move. They hear everything. And then all of a sudden we just like put them in a room, like, no, go over there. So to me, I think that is unnatural. It just doesn't make sense, especially if you think about other cultures, or even animals. Like, you sleep next to your kids all the time. And then there's countries, they don't have houses with different rooms. They may all live in the same room, and the kids sleep with the parents, and that's just what it is. So as of right now, I have 2 girls sleeping in my bed, but I don't mind so much. It's okay. It's a little rough. It was a little rough at first because Ocean is the kind of kid that like will kick you in the face, but she's calmed down a lot, so it's good. So one of the things I did with Ocean also, before crying it out, like before the year hit, was say goodnight to the room. I read that somewhere and I thought it was great. So we would go around the room and we would say goodnight to everything. We would say goodnight to the different, goodnight teddy bear, goodnight books, goodnight lamp, goodnight crib, goodnight everything. And I took on that one saying when I put her down. Even though by that time she was usually really sleepy, it was still, I love you, have a good night, something like that. I don't remember what it was, but the same saying every night. So say goodnight to the room in the same order and put them down and say a phrase, same phrase every night. I also give nightly baths. Baths make me feel relaxed and ready for bed, so I think that would help for them. So from the beginning, once I started bathing her after she was a newborn, when she was a newborn, I gave her a bath every night. It was part of her bedtime routine. Very rarely did I not give her a bath. It was always, I used to give her a bath when she got older in the bathroom in candlelight. I would always, by the time she was going to the bath, there were no TVs on, there were really no lights on. Everything was super dim all the time when she was young. So I always felt that ambiance was super important. Candlelight baths, try it. It's amazing. It's amazing. And your eyes, they adjust. Don't worry, they adjust. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. So it was always bath, book, bottle, say goodnight to the room, go to bed. Now of course that changed, and I think that is one thing that sometimes parents may get stressed about, is that the bedtime routine does change over time because they get older, and as they get older, they change so quickly. So we can't just think that the same thing is going to always work every time, especially once she was able to really talk. That changed a lot. I mean, us saying goodnight to the room leads to conversations. So that only happened before that time. So let's fast forward to now, because now Ocean is 4 and she's a little chatterbox and full of energy. And then I have Zuri, and Zuri is 7 months, and she's definitely a more calm baby. So sweet, so smiley, just so happy. Even though it's 7 months right now, she is a little bit more grumpy than she used to be, but still very sweet. Okay, so now things have changed because now there's 2 of them. So now Ocean takes a bath. We still do nightly baths. I bathe Zuri in the sink in her bathtub, and Ocean will take her own bath in the bathroom in the bathtub. And I will just let her play and go wash her up and she gets out on her own and all that. She loves a good bath bomb. Oh my God, do not start giving your kids bath bombs unless you want to continue to give them bath bombs, because every day a bath bomb. And I did find some bath bombs, I will link it below, that had little toys in them, and they were actually really cute. For her age, it was good, except the toys are really they're kind of small, so I have to get rid of them because Zuri is starting to want to crawl around, and yeah, gotta baby proof, but they're still really cute. And I know it just keeps her dopamine level all the way high, which makes her happy. So sometimes they'll do bath time at the same time. I'll bathe Zuri, I take her in the bedroom where the light is always dim, the heater's on, and I do the same thing. Like, we do the bath, we go to the bedroom in the dim light, with the heater, and the soother is always on, playing, the white noise, and, put on her diaper, lotion her up, massage her, put on her pajamas, put on her wearable blanket, and then it's off with both of them to read and for her to have a bottle. And Ocean at that time, I let her get on her iPad for a little while longer, because putting them both to bed at the exact same time is really, really difficult, and that's just not really something I can do at this point. One of them has to go to bed first. It's either Ocean or it's the baby. But since they're both in school, the baby gets really, really tired at night. So, because she doesn't really nap as long throughout the day when she's at school. She naps long when she's here on the weekend, but not at school. So a lot of times the baby will fall asleep first because she goes to sleep earlier. She goes to sleep probably 8:30, between 7:30 and 8:30. And she might wake up again, but she may not. So I'll put her to sleep after her bath, after a book, after a bottle. And then I'll let Ocean be on her iPad, usually maybe 15 more minutes, which goes into mommy 6 more minutes, mommy 7 more minutes. And I'm like, okay. But sometimes when she does that, all of a sudden it's 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I'm reeling that in. So when it comes to the toddler, I think it's really important to cut the sugar At night, if she wants a snack, it's only protein. Usually it's a yogurt. And I know basically everything for kids has sugar in it, but they have varying amounts of sugar. So no juice whatsoever. It's water or milk at night. She's still a milk baby. After she turned 1 and got on milk, like she was drinking milk every night, and she's 4 now. I was like that when I was young. I remember having a glass of milk by my bed every night, even when I was older. So that may be her, but I support it. I will let her be on her iPad. I don't really watch TV too often, so at that time we're in the living room and I have a lamp. Like the lamp is like a warm, like yellowish light. I'll keep that on. I'll turn off the rest of the lights. There will be no TV on. She'll watch her iPad. I'm usually reading or maybe on my computer. And she may have her nighttime smoothie. Sometimes I give her cheese, depending on just what I have in the fridge. But I usually give her a smoothie. And because she doesn't really eat a whole bunch throughout the day. Like she's not really a big eater. So I need to give her a smoothie just to make sure that she's getting the protein and, you know, some of the vitamins and minerals that she's missing when she doesn't eat throughout the day. So she'll have her smoothie. And then the fight begins. Every time I take the iPad from her, cries, waterworks. And sometimes I'm like tired and I'm just like, you know, really trying to keep it together because sometimes I'm losing it. And I'm like, look, I need you to go to bed because I need a little bit of me time before I go to bed. Like I need you to go to bed. And she'll be like, Mommy, I don't want to go to bed by myself. I'm scared of the dark. And she's in the same room with the baby. The baby's in the crib. But the crib is in my room. There's a nice light that's on, a soother-ish baby light. I'll also link that at the bottom because I love it. It's really a great light. It plays music and stuff, one of those things. There's like a million of them, but it's actually a really nice one. I didn't know if I would like it before. Oh, and it has an app on the phone. So I can change the colors and stuff. There's a gnat. I can change the colors and stuff and the volume on my phone. The only thing is, once she knew that I could do that on my phone, she wanted to do it. So there was a time every night when she would say, Mommy, let me pick a color. Mommy, let me pick a color. And I would be like, woo, Lord, child. So the frustration. So I try my best to really keep it together. She does get out of bed, you know, before she falls asleep. Mommy, I want a hug. I mean, if you're a parent, you're probably used to this if you have a toddler. Mommy, I want a kiss. Mommy, I want a hug. Mommy this. Mommy that. Mommy, lay with me. Mommy this. And I'm like, child, I try not to yell. There have definitely been times in the past that I have been like, just go to bed. And then she'll cry and then I feel bad. And I hate to do that to her because everything she's doing is very age appropriate. It's just kind of still a little bit annoying for me at times. Especially when she goes in and out the door and the baby sleep, because her crib, well, there's 3 doors in the room. So, but she's by one of the doors that goes out. There's 2 doors that lead into the room on different sides. So she goes out the door that's closest to the crib, and even though the baby usually doesn't wake up, I'm always like, oh my God, if you wake up this baby, you're going to be in trouble. But it's like, what am I going to do? I'm going to put her on timeout when she's already supposed to go to bed. Like, go to timeout in the bed. So yeah, so she will fall asleep. You know, it is a struggle. But, you know, I just want to say, just take your deep breaths. You know, when you're in that situation and they don't want to go to sleep, take your deep breaths. Yelling at kids for the normal, natural things that they do is gonna strain our relationship in the long term. It really will. And we want them to trust us. We want them to feel relieved when they're with us, happy, comfortable, all of that. So I'm telling this to you. I'm telling this to me. Man, Zuri will be a toddler eventually. At least Ocean will be older. So hopefully that'll be easier. But, you know, I just wanted to talk about the bedtime routine. There's a lot of great information out there that can be used. But just remember, just roll with it. Like, it is fluid. I mean, after the newborn stage, unless you just have a baby that just doesn't sleep or you just give them really bad habits, then, you know, they're gonna sleep. Like parents say, okay, you never sleep. You sleep, but you just don't sleep as deep. At least I don't. Like, it's always like you're still always on alert throughout the night, no matter what. You wake up multiple times a night just to look at the kids or, you know, assess their breathing or whatever. Also, for exclusive breastfed babies, those babies are probably going to wake up more. You know, breast milk doesn't have as many calories like as formula. Zuri gets both. She gets breast milk and she gets formula. But at night, before bed, I do tend to give her more formula. I will breastfeed her just for the fact of me making milk, and it soothes her a lot. But she's definitely uses the breast for soothing sometimes and not more than eating. So then I'll worry that she won't have the calories she needs to make it through the night. So I give her formula at night. But if you're exclusively breastfeeding, then that's not really an option. You still don't know how much they're getting because, you know, babies suck and soothe. So you may have to wake up more. But I mean, you know, that's fine. It's temporary. Also, when they get into the crib, don't give them bottles in the crib. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's a bad situation. They will want that bottle, and once it runs out and they look for it in the middle of the night, they will want more milk or water or whatever it is. And then their diaper will just overflow, and it's just a lot. Real quick, like, so with Ocean, when she was between like 1 and 2, I would give her sippy cups of milk at night. That was a mistake because sometimes even multiple times a night, but at least once a night, she would ask for more milk because she was transitioning from the bottle to the sippy cup. And she would have the bottle at night, like put her to sleep with the bottle, and she would keep it. I don't plan to do that with Zuri. Nope, I don't plan to do that with Zuri at all. Hopefully that won't be an issue, but I would have to get up at night. Man, that was probably the worst part, is getting up, and she would want to come with me and want me to hold her. Woo! Carrying around 25 pounds at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know, trying to get a bottle and open a fridge and pour milk was not it. So anyway, I just want to talk about bedtime routine, talk about some of the things I've gone through, some of the things that I've read. Oh, and I've read a lot. The What to Expect app is great for mothers that, you know, have questions if you haven't used it before. A lot of people use Taking Cara Babies. I didn't use that. I think it's like, you have to pay for it. It's expensive. It's like a whole program. I don't really think it's that serious, honestly, unless it's just really bad. But if your kid is not sleeping, they may have something else, GERD or something else. It may just not be that they can't sleep. There's usually a reason why they can't sleep. So make sure to check the temperature of the room. For kids, it's usually between 68 and 72. I tend to keep it closer to 68. because I'm one of those people that like to, cover myself with covers. But I also worry about, overheating. Overheating also increases the risk of SIDS for kids under 1. What else? You think about the electronics. I don't believe in TVs in bedrooms. I try to follow sleep hygiene rules. So I don't have a TV in there, but you have to think about that. If you're watching TV and there's a crib in your room, may not be the best idea, but you do what you do, and that's fine. But when you think about putting kids to sleep, think about you going to sleep. Electronics being off, no blue light, soothing bath, soothing lavender lotions, things like that, and just keep everything just mild and chill. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like to my channel. If you look back on my channel, I've done a lot I've kind of been all over the place. Life has been lifing, for the last forever, right? But really, when you talk about mental health, like, we all go through so much stuff that I've talked about just so many things. And I'm gonna try to do my best to categorize these videos better and to kind of reel it in instead of talking about everything. But I hope that you got good info from this. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know.